welcome to Torras AI podcast. Today we have a special guest on our podcast, Prasad Pillai. Prasad is an accomplished product developer and entrepreneur with a passion for leveraging emerging technologies such as AI and IoT to solve complex problems. As the founder and CEO of MindSpace AI, he has been instrumental in integrating AI into innovative products and solutions, ranging from software to cloud applications. Prasad's experience includes leading projects at Microsoft and creating successful startups like Elsie's Intelligent Devices. He's also a TEDx speaker and a pioneer in smart road safety technology. Join us as we dive into this journey and insights on the future of technology. And Prasad, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much, Jody, for having me in your podcast. And first of all, I want to say that I'm honored to be in your podcast. You are one of the persons who I inspire. I'm inspiring to be in my future. So you've already been there, done that. I was going through your profile and how you started in 1997 when, and then how built different ventures, and actually that's a lot of learning, and I actually came here to learn from you more about how what I should do forward and get your advice and seek
Oh
advice.
boy, Prasad, I made so many mistakes. So if you can learn from one or some of those, that's going to be perfect because I started several businesses, that's right. Two of them went quite well, and the others, why should we now talk about that, right? But indeed, yeah, sometimes you learn more from mistakes than from super successes. But let's talk about you. And I'm very intrigued about Mind Space. So tell me about this venture, this project about Mind Space AI.
Yes, so Mindspace is primarily a product development and productization company around AI. So we do have our own products, and we also offer services like AI prototyping, proof of concept development, and taking it to production, right? So and our own products right now we're building autonomous productivity tools for realtors, mainly trying to use AI and tools to kind of save time of realtors, right? I believe that currently our biggest problems we face is long working hours, then time management, and keeping up to date with everything going around.
Hmm.
And and then my other belief is that we are some sort of like matrix, right? We are some sort of in a system where we're going into different machines and actually getting things. Google is a big machine that we use every day. Same
Right?
with Facebook, right? So we as humans, we are knowingly or unknowingly going to these machines and doing things, and we have all software around us which are basically interacting with us, and there's so many, right? And uh,
Yes.
so we are just piecemealing our time to everything and not really using our human skills sometimes. So and then so we found this is happening in multiple industry verticals, but we chose realtors because that's a major, I would say every realtor is a small business. Every realtor is an entrepreneur, right? Who has to run his or her own business. So I thought, and nobody's really looking to help them in a way. Everybody's after their commissions, right? So if you look at all the Zillow, Redfin, the bigger companies who have that kind of capabilities, they first build tools in which all realtors are working in that. So I'm trying to build some systems that can plug into other software so that realtors can recapture their time, get more time back, and go into that active selling. So if you ask me, we're kind of building things that you've tried and successfully built, in the past at the previous ventures of yours, like Inventa, we're trying to build it probably with a little bit more newer technology. And I could say that now it's much easier. So we're trying to do that, but for different use cases, I would say.
Absolutely. Well, we at Inventa, we launched the first version of our software that was 2010. So it's 15 years. Yeah. So
How you did that.
so for sure, you're going to be using more updated technology. Absolutely, absolutely right. And I love what you say about giving time, right? And many people are concerned about, oh, AI is going to take our jobs away, or is going to cause trouble and is dangerous. But I say I have the same vision as you. Is the tool to make us human, have to spend less time with these machines that you mentioned and more time talking to each other. And that's something that was somehow taken away, right, with the technology. I love this vision. And tell me, how is MindSpace applying artificial intelligence to get that done?
Yeah, so primarily, I think we're applying through conversations, using AI for having
Hmm.
human-like conversations, right? That's one of the big things that's going on with LLMs. We kind of have better linguistic capabilities, so we can, so we are using AI agents and chat agents to do initial conversations we have this funnel phenomena, right? Wherever we go, there's a funnel. So we got to
Yeah,
talk to 1,000 number of multiples of how many customers we finally will get, right? So it's just the numbers. So much of the scenarios where it's not scalable to reach, kind of like some of the products you've created where you have said the call center, it goes and it's not scalable, right? So we can only
correct.
have so many people. In the same way, if a small business can only talk to so many number of prospects, right? So we're trying to bring AI there so we can have human like. So I would say the current LLM and AI technology mimics human intelligence. It is not intelligent, but it mimics human intelligence. It can cook up things and tell you, right? So it's more engaging. So I would say the previous generation of the chatbots around intents. Right now we have a little bit more better technology, which almost mimics that human conversations very well. So we are using that for sales qualifying, market qualification of leads, sales qualifying leads, market qualifying leads, and especially we are some of our products are heavily on web chat agents, which would be the next generation of these chat agents, I would say, where
Hmm.
it can engage in better conversations than the old chatbot that we are familiar with, right? So
Yep.
and through this chat agents, we have also added ability to ask questions to the prospect or to the customer, right? To the person who is chatting with the agent like a human. So if you look at sales conversations, it's usually about knowing what the customer would want, right? And then
Yep.
aligning.
Absolutely.
So we're trying to train an LLM using prompting and different sort of these related technologies to do that kind of sales conversations and trying to know the mind of the customer, right?
Got it.
Then check if that aligns with our market qualifying MQ market qualifying leads or sales qualifying criteria. And then if they are, then we will book meetings and then we will give more expensive time. That's our realtors' time to talk to those market qualified leads.
Got it. So if I am understanding this correctly, vertical is realtors, and the realtors are your customers. And what you are offering them is kind of an SDR team at a scale, just working for them, having potentially dozens, hundreds, maybe thousands of conversations, and making sure that these realtors are fed with enough leads to make their job uh, profitable and being able to have a life out of it, and and making this not robotic. I mean, usually it's like a lot of spam. Right? That's the traditionally has been done by really methods that try to get scale but with no intelligence. You are using large language models and generative AI to say, hey, have to be you have to take these initial sales conversations and try to push leads into the funnel. That's fascinating. And for that particular uh, vertical, and I'm assuming, Prasad, that as you are successful with that, then other verticals can be added to, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And what I am trying to do, and it's probably a little bit. So my first goal is to build this chat agents, and then the next goal is to try to uh, do work as an assistant, or probably like an autonomous assistant, I would say. So we
Mm-hmm.
find time, by sending all the emails, trying to do all the initial collaboration with the person to bring them to the meeting, including, so just like, I think you'll be familiar, right? We all omni-channel, so we can connect with all social media, phone, phone SMSs, phone calls. So the agent will follow up and start trying to connect and bring people, sending reminders and things like that. So it frees up the time of the realtor, and in getting people to meet with them. So and then next one is customer education. So we're trying to add ability to kind of answer some of these realtor questions, like how this realtor would do. So we can now kind of mimic human behavior, so mimic human personality. So we want to give this agent more like a human appeal, but we're not trying to just give fake characters or anything, but we're just giving more human appeal that hopefully matches the philosophy of the realtor, right? Every realtor has a different way of doing business.
Yeah,
That's
different
what
style, right?
so that's what makes them unique, and we want to project that more using this AI technology around
Wow. So you are kind of training models on a per person basis, right? Basically, it's trying to say, hey, over time, that model is going to get trained to be less generic and more like you, and your competitive advantage as realtor is going to be learned by the AI, and therefore put into work to
it.
get more. That's amazing. Essentially, what you are is saving realtors a lot of time on conversations and conversations. They are just the initial ones before they actually start getting an actual sale or a transaction finalized. Because I'm assuming that life for realtors is not. I mean, nobody's life is easy, right? But for them, they have a lot of competitors. Sometimes they have to compete with big companies, right? How is this how is their life in this environment?
So life is pretty hard for everybody. uh, that sense. I mean, I'm saying that because how I'm a technologist, but looking back, I would think that the way the technology has transformed our life has made it a little difficult for us. For example, I would think there's a huge number of software solutions. Even if a business has to conduct its basic operation, basic presence, look at social media, right? We got to maintain at least two or three social media channels. There's no way out
Right,
without
right.
that, right? And if you look at communications, you got email, you got phone, you got text, you got all these messaging softwares, right, that we have. So we got to be on at least a few of them, right? We got to have a website, right? If you don't have a website, there's no presence, and then there's content, right? We got to share content to always. Then there's new news coming in. We got to be always up to date. So our time is actually we're just scraping by for anything that we need to do for us personally. So we don't have any personal time, right? And especially with realtors. And for them, customers come at the most convenient time for customers, which is after hours, right? After work, and then they have to.
Right.
That's the time when that's after hours for realtors too. So they have to go around and engage with them. So I would say that that's one of those hugely time intensive work that they are doing right now with multiple software pieces,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then handling all these. I would say these talking to robots every day, basically talking to Google, Facebook, or the social media, or their own piece of software that they are working. Even Zillow and Redfin, these are all bigger software systems, right? We go in,
Yes.
put our data, find this data. So it takes a lot of time um, for them, and there is very strong competition. There's only so many houses that we can sell,
That's
and
right. That's right.
money is another bigger thing that comes down. So they got to get insights on how the industry, how the market is moving, right? The trends, they got to keep up, and that's another huge time draw from them, because they got to educate customers, right? Why would somebody want to use the modern Redfin or Zillow to do all the transaction? Now we don't need a human, like a realtor in between. They can Everything can be done online.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
then you don't have the trust, right? That a good realtor will give us, right? So
Correct.
30-year, I would say, bondage that we are taking to buy our new property or new home, and then so that's where I think realtors come in, and that human to human, the trust building and that interface, is coming well. So yeah, so
That makes a lot of sense. So you make their business keep up with these Zillows of the world and these big monsters, make their life easier, and they have more time to do what they do well, which is talking to people, understanding what they want, and giving the best option. That's amazing. So you've been out there with MindSpace for some time now. Um,
yes.
could you tell us some success story that you can share among how you're using AI and the results that you are getting?
Yeah, so I think success stories that we have seen. I mean, over we have been working with AI for quite some time. We started. I started Mindspace in 2018, and then from on we were building different types of products where we have a little bit of AI in everything. For example, this is one of my earlier products, which is
Wow, Safe Drive.
Safe Drive, yes. So this is an IoT road safety platform. I think this is the TEDx talk that I was, this is what they saw and they invited me over. So we use some AI in this as well, where we have a moving gadget, right, like in a car, and how do we sense an actual accident from just jumping into some kind of a pothole, or some slight movement versus a
Hmm.
big. So we had to, at that time, we got some success in trying to use AI. And then recently, more of it has been around these conversations, right? We have been able to mimic that human behavior, like that human personality, with for these LLMs. And then it's actually mimicking that human intelligence. It's not really intelligent. By using prompts and using these different RAG and different technologies, right? We're able
Uh-huh.
to we're seeing some successes where customers think that yes, I can talk to this device and be comfortable, and it feel like I'm talking to a human. It's answering me like a human is answering, at least for the purpose of that conversation, right? It's
Correct.
obviously. So we're seeing that people are more comfortable in talking to these agents more. So that's one of the successes I think that we've been able to see, and we're applying it to some of these different verticals where we need to talk and also ask questions. So it's conversational, right? So we see success where people are really engaging and find that I'm not talking to a robotic system, but I'm
Yeah.
talking to something beyond that. So that's one success we see. Then there's another success is doing this summarization, and for example, note taking is another thing that we're working on.
Hmm.
So uh, so so we have all these conversations, and we're trying to summarize things and
Yes.
track the main points, and showcase just like a human would. We don't like to take notes, right? We're
Yes.
it's another thing. keep up, right? If you're taking notes and we can't really focus on what we're doing. I mean, for me, it's very hard. So we have this kind of note takers that can kind of understand the conversation with us and then sort of summarize and extract the main action items and the meeting minutes, for example. So that is also one success we see, and then we also do that for even for some of the healthcare applications. Where
Mhm.
I wouldn't say we have success observed yet, but we're working on trying to build such systems because of the earlier successes we saw, where a nurse or a doctor can be talking to the patient, and that information can then be summarized, and then charts can be built, or documentation and charting can be done, and then instead of the human going and writing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
we'll create drafts, and then they have to review and then approve it. But we believe that's going to save a lot of time for writing up everything with
Yeah. Yeah.
AI summarizing and based on the
Yeah.
conversation we had. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we all love, right, to be able to say, "Oh my God, what this? I had this meeting 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I remember we had some conclusions, but I had to do something, but what was it? I don't remember." So going back, and well, I use notes, right? I take notes, but sometimes even then it's like, oh man, I can't even recognize my own writing, right? So that's yet another application that is amazing is first speech to text, right? So getting in real time the conversation and making a summary and make a summary for what is relevant for me about the things that I'm supposed to do and the commitments that I took. That's amazing, and absolutely that's a big accomplishment for this technology and the way you are integrating. And I like what you said about, hey, so we've been surrounded by these machines that you call it Google, social media, all these guys, but they take time away from us as well, right? So how do you think the future of AI can help us with all that, and more in general, what do you see AI coming in the maybe near and longer term?
Uh, yes, Rudy, that's a very good question. So my belief is in more like autonomous agents and autonomous productivity software. So I am thinking, or I'm predicting, that the software that we see today is all going to probably change in a big way. And I'm engaged in creating machines for the user, as a software user. For example, if I think Google and Facebook and these other as machines, then we just have a computer, right, to which we browse, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking that, and what I am working towards, these autonomous productivity tools, right, is um, we also have some kind of a machine that now will talk to those machines, right? And
Wow.
and it's what we control around us.
Yes.
So my thought has been, of course, we are seeing that in for example, Zillow. I mean, we see different products, not the oh, I just forgot the name. For example, there are software.
There's so many stuff out there. Impossible to remember.
Uh, I mean, it's what I use regularly, but I think I'm just kind of excited today. I just can't remember that name. But these are softwares that connect other softwares, right, through APIs,
Yeah.
right? So we don't need to actively use that software, but then they connect between the software through APIs, right? So we have that technology, for example, UiPath, where is RPA, robotic process automation, where it can now use the software just kind of like a human does. It'll click the buttons, it'll enter text into the buttons and all that stuff, right? So it's kind of it's robotic though, but just imagine if that's becoming artificially intelligent, right? With LLM, with the kind of technology we have today. So I'm really thinking something like a self-operating computer, and the softwares will become like, you come in the morning to the office, right? It will go analyze what is the work that you need to do, right? So it will have a mind of its own. It will go just like recommendation systems. We see recommendation systems on Amazon, right? Based on our previous history, it's going to recommend the product that we would probably want to buy, right? And we fall for that, right? We go and buy those, and that's one of the major follow second the more vertical sales that happens, right, at Amazon. So in the same way, I believe that when we come to our office, our future software that we work with, right, will go and learn about all the things we have done and all the things that we are required to do, and it will tell us, hey, these are the important things that you need to do today. And sort of kind of so that's more like, I'm thinking of like a assistant, right, that is autonomous. When we say autonomous, it's 24/7 working for us, and then kind of improving much of the things that we need to do. For example, it will in the case of a realtor, the moment we sign in, it's going to say, hey, our web chat agent talked to probably 10 different visitors on your website, and then we were able to book meetings with two, and we have those meetings. So we'll just go in there, we're seeing that, and behind that, all the alerting, reminding, everything is happening by this agent, right? So the realtor just goes in and then signs up and have a meeting, just like how we are having an online meeting. And then then we're also told, like, you got these updated industry trends that you need to spend maybe 30 minutes of time or X amount of time to kind of go through all of that. And then it's kind of going to build our whole day. Right, learning our patterns, and obviously we can kind of give instructions. Oh no, I would rather have a different preference. We could change it as well, but I am thinking of a scenario where we'll have a more assistive software around us. And also, that software will now start talking to these other larger robotic or software or AI systems that are talking to us. And my thought has been that we will start using more of our natural interface, like voice. So we would be interacting more with voice and chat, and that way we feel like we're working with a human. So this is my bigger vision. I don't know how well I communicate it, but yeah.
Well, um, I love Ambika what you said, because I believe that's exactly what I believe is going to happen, right? So that's you put it in a way that Prasad. That's exactly the vision that I have. We spend so much times. We get up, get to work from home or in actual location. You open your email, right? You're like, okay, what is in there? You start reading, okay, you read the subject and a few lines, and I say, oh, I know that's someone trying to sell me something. Okay, next one. Oh, oh, look at that. That could be opportunity. Oh, no, that's not an opportunity. Let go to the next one. So you spend checking email, you spend an hour maybe, right? Versus it's like I woke up, I put my headset, and I talked to my agent, right? We could call her like the movie, right? It's like, hey, what's up? And I would like to say, well, you get some guys selling stuff. I can sell you a summary if you want, but also most importantly, that email that you were waiting from this investor just got today while you were sleeping. So that's I'm super excited, like you, all right? So that is where I believe, and I think you talk also about something super important, because it was called RPA, right? Robotic Process Automation, and as many of Silicon Valley stuff, it was super hot at some point, and then it went to the oblivion kind of thing, right? But in reality, soon, and probably these large language models as we know them today, which are trained by text, are not going to be enough. They will need to use what we use, and say and go to our LinkedIn profile and tell me what's exciting there, and what's going on with my email, with every and have someone who's telling me and helping me with all that. Because yeah, I completely agree with you. We got surrounded by so many tools that now we are slave. We look at the monitor, we use the keyboard, we use the mouse, we use all that all day. We became slaves of all this technology, and that's really what is going on, right? And AI, I mean, it's not that difficult. I mean, opening an email and knowing what is the email about is not that. I mean, AI can do that perfectly. The the time consuming thing is operating all this software to the computer. Or you say, okay, okay, I'm gonna go to this trip, right? So I need to buy flight tickets, book a hotel, and a car. Man, you can stay there 1 hour. And yeah, of course, the internet helps you with that, but it takes a lot of time. And then exactly how many people, and then you have to enter the passports and then blah blah and blah blah. It takes forever, and then pay the credit card fails, and then the website fails, and then you go back, and the price is oh man, the experience is so terrible in reality.
Yeah, we got a lot of choices around us, and and then the way the current user interface that we have is almost 20 years old, right? The buttons and the clicking the buttons, and that's it's time for a change there as well. And when Alexa and the Google Voice came, there was a change that was sensing, but it kind of died down. But I'm thinking it's coming back with the Chat GPT and the multimodal models coming out, right? And that we can start speaking. So I think we should soon start seeing those kind of those kind of new products coming out, technologies. And this is my problem. There's nobody to take care of ourselves, right? Everybody's creating their own product in which we work for them, and then I'm trying to see if we can build something for all of us that works for us. Like, look at all our emails, look at you know so yeah, I mean, it's I'm very happy to hear that from you, because then it's a big validation of what I'm also thinking, right? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, that software that you were kind of thinking, was it Zapier? Was
exactly.
the name? Because I mean, since you didn't remember the name, you're like, shoot, I also don't remember the name. So guess what? While we were speaking, I went to ChatGPT and I said, tell me, what is this software that I use to integrate software with some other software? And somehow ChatGPT got it as a, there's many stuff, but one is Zapier. It's like, that's the guy. Yeah, I got, once you get Zillow on your head, you cannot get Zapier. For some reason, it's in the same place in the brain, right? But exactly right. Zapier is this tool that helps you have your CRM integrated with your billing system using email, right? It's like, okay, why do I have to do that manually? So Zapier is there. So having I don't need Zapier. What I need is this agent that does all that for me, right? And that's absolutely going to happen. Absolutely. And it's not general AI. We don't need general AI. I mean, is nice when it's there, but if we could just stop having to use all these websites and applications and going there and log in and password and remember the password,
Yeah.
all that would be amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So we could have basically, instead of having a computer and working with a computer, I'm old enough to remember in the 80s, how do we work? I don't remember. We would sit down at a table and there was no computer. What what did these people do? Now it's everything is computer, and the AI might help us free again this time, and help us building the future that we all deserve after all this time being a slave to the technology. That's amazing. That's a great vision. Prasad, I know you are busy, so I wanna thank you for your time. But before that, for the audience that is listening, that's going to be fascinating by the story and what you're telling. What would be the best way for the audience to reach you?
Yes, so my company's MindSpace AI, And my email address is prasad at mindspaceai.com. And I'm active on Twitter, on LinkedIn. And feel free to reach out to me. I'll definitely get back to you. Sometimes I'm also just scrambling to catch up to all the things, but I'll definitely do.
Amazing. And I've been how you interact and participate in LinkedIn, and it's amazing. You are at very valuable content. So for the audience there, uh, Prasad Pillai is not only someone very knowledgeable about AI, is a great source of knowledge and relationships in LinkedIn. So I'm going to put the link to uh, Prasad's LinkedIn profile so you guys can connect. Thank you again, Prasad, for being with us today.
Jody, it was an honor to be in conversation with you, and thank you so much for having me today.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. And for the audience, get ready because very soon we're going to have very exciting people with us talking in our podcast. Have a wonderful day.